What's up, world? I am TJ, and this is Nativerezmedia, your place for opinionated tech news, reviews, and entertainment. And today, I'll be taking a look at the OneOdio Focus A10 wireless noise canceling headphones here. I'm going to, as always, go over what comes in the box. I'll be going over the tech specs, the look and feel, giving you my opinion on how they sound, and at the end, giving you my conclusion of these. And in the second video down the line, I'll be comparing these to some more of my, I guess, more budget headphones like the Soundcore Life Q30, Soundcore Life Q35s, things like that. But with that being said, let's just jump right into this review. And we're gonna start by going over what comes in the box. Of course, nice box here. The headset itself is inside the carrying case. It does come with a nice little carrying case, and we'll get into that a little bit later. The box is one of those slide out types, so let me try to get this open. And this set was sent out to me by OneOdio to do this review on, but that will not influence my opinion in the end. All right, there we go. Got it open. Nothing in there, of course. So let me do all that. Let me slide it back in here, and then let's go over. Well, all right, we'll get into the tech specs here in a second, but let's open up the rest of the packaging here. So you have your case with the OneOdio spelled out on the front here. That's not the logo. The logo here is right here. The power of music. So it has a nice little OneOdio logo. So opening this up, typically when you open it up for the first time, these are covered by this plastic. So the ear cups are covered by some plastics to protect them. Slide that off to the side. Let's take the headphones out. Nice headphones there. Set those down, and then you have your little baggie here with your USB-C charging cable, and you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So that's good if you run out of power and you need to connect it directly to your phone or your laptop or whatever. And then here you have your manual. So it's just one of those kind of fold out manuals there with all your instructions. You have a nice strap. You have some felt on the inside of this case, nice and soft there. There's no pockets or anything like that, but for a lot of these things you don't need them, but it is cool to have pockets when they do come with it. The case is nice little hard shell protective case, so I'm assuming if the headphones are in here, if you drop them, they should be decently protected. Don't drop them off of a 20-foot building or anything like that, and you should be fine. Now let me get into the actual tech specs of these. So I'm just gonna go off the tech specs on the box, and I'll kind of riff a little bit because the box is missing some of the specs on here. So we got the product name A10, battery capacity 800 milliamp hours, and with that these do support quick charging. So if you charge them for, I think it was 5 or 10 minutes, you'll get 5.5 hours of playtime out of these, which is pretty cool there. So 5.5 hours if you charge them for a few minutes there. Input power, 5 volts. These don't come with a power brick or anything, so if you use any of your standard wall wart chargers for your phones, it should be fine with this. Charging time to fully charge this headset, it says on the box here, 2 hours. If you use these while they are fully powered, you'll get 35 hours, and that's with ANC on and Bluetooth mode, basically paired to your phone or your laptop or your computer, whatever you got them paired to. If you are using just Bluetooth music only without any ANC, that's just normal, you're gonna get 45 hours. And if you just go ANC only, you're going to get 50 hours. And I'm assuming, as far as the Bluetooth, that is with the volume probably 50-60%, where most of you guys might listen to this at. Because if you use it at 100%, these times are normally greatly reduced. Bluetooth range, usual Bluetooth 5.0, it's going to be about 10 meters, 33 feet. Noise reduction depth is negative 35 decibel, and that is when you are using the ANC mode. And of course you have your driver diameter 40 millimeters and all your impedance and things like that, which if you want you can see there, freeze frame it, because a lot of that stuff doesn't matter for most of us. And then the weight is 295 grams. So if you have a little scale at home and you want to know what 295 grams weighs, get you some rice and put it on there, and that is what these weigh. Other than that, that is pretty much it on the box. These do, again, support active noise cancellation, and they support pass-through, so you do have pass-through mode, and you have your normal music mode, of course. If I missed anything, I will circle back around in another part of this video. So let's just jump right into the look and feel of these. All right, so we're gonna start with the headphones themselves. If you just set them down there, they have a nice little sheen to them. You have some anodized aluminum all around the ear cups. On the headband itself, it's mostly plastic. You have, of course, your protein leather coming up under the bottom. So that's where we're going to start. You got your OneOdio on the top of the headband and your nice foam here. I don't think this is memory foam, but it's a nice little plush memory foam. So if it's sitting on the top of your head, you should be nice and comfortable there. This does have a ratcheting mechanism for the slider on the headphone adjustment here. And then we're gonna make our way down to the ear cups and how they attach to this the headband here. It does rotate, it does fold and collapse. And then the mechanism to connect this ear cup here is made of all metal. It's a nice sturdy mechanism, so if I turn this ear cup, it will sit there. So it does have a little bit of stiffness. This has basically just the right amount of stiffness when you turn it. So it's loose enough to where it will, mold to your head, but it's got it tight enough to where it just doesn't dangle around and flop around. My Q35s do that, but whatever, I don't mind. Anyways. You come to the part that attaches the ear cups to the headbands here, the in-between part here. This is made of all plastic. It's a nice, hard, sturdy plastic. And again, the ear cup itself is made of all aluminum for the most part. There is some plastic in between here and a little bit of plastic here, but most of this is what seems to be anodized aluminum with the emblem there. And we're going to start by going over the ports on this. So ports and buttons. We're going to look at the left ear cup. Yep, this is the left. You have your USB-C charging port, and then you have your ANC on, off, and in your pass-through mode. So if you have these turned off, if you hit this button, press and hold it for a little couple seconds, it'll speak to you and say ANC on. So it'll turn on the ANC without you actually having to turn on the headphones themselves, which is pretty cool. My Faweeties do that. Some other headphones you actually have to turn them on to turn the ANC on. And then you come over to, and then there's a LED light on this left ear cup that lets you know I think it lights up green. Let me press and hold this. It's in transparency mode, and she told me that, but yeah, it's a green LED there. So there you go. And then if you just click it, so you press and hold, it comes on, click through it, it'll cycle through transparency, ANC off, things like that, and it should turn itself off. There you go. And then if you come back over to the right ear cup here, you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and then next to that there's a little bit of mic for the ANC audio reading there. And then you come up, you have your audio down, your volume down button, and then the next button is your multifunction button. That is what you use to press play, pause, things like that. And then you go up a little bit more and you have your audio or volume up there. And this is how you switch tracks, and then you go back tracks as well by pressing and holding and things like that. So and all that is in the manual. It's basically same controls that are on a lot of these Bluetooth headphones. They are just arranged a little bit different on the OneOdio set here as usual. And then coming around to the ear cups. This is memory foam, memory foam on the ear cups. You have your left and right written on the inside here. It is nice, soft, and plush. This is a nice protein leather. If you wear these for a little bit of time, I've worn these for about an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time. No issues. These are nice and soft and very comfortable on my head, believe it or not. These don't put a lot of pressure. So they do block out the sound and the noises, that passive noise cancellation there. They don't put a lot of pressure on my ears. I would have liked for them to put a little bit more, because it'll block out a little bit more. When they're just sitting on your ear, it's a decent seal around there, but if you put a little bit more, you can get a little bit more bass out of these. So if you want to bend them a little bit or something, maybe you can, but they still sound pretty nice, even with the little bit amount of pressure. So that could be more comfortable for you. But again, you sacrifice the seal when you don't have a decent amount of pressure on your head there. Something else I noticed about the ear cups here, if you look, they're thinner. These don't have a nice thick ear pad, which I found that I didn't need that. I thought when I looked at them, I was like, oh, that's going to be thin. It's going to ride on the top of my ear and the bottom here, and I'm going to feel it. But I don't. It's this memory foam in here is nice and dense. It's soft, but it's dense enough to where it holds it right where it needs to be. I'm sure over time, maybe this will fade a little bit and become softer, and then you might feel some pressure, but who knows? I don't think there's going to be any issues there with comfortability for most people. That is pretty much it when it comes to the look and feel of these. If you have any other questions about that, please comment down below. Oh, and something that I wanted to go over before I get into the sound of these do have 2 device connectivity, so I can connect them to my phone, my laptop. I can be listening to YouTube on my laptop, phone call comes in, these will switch over to the phone automatically where I can answer and reject that call directly from the headset. So that is something else to note. This is the OneOdio Focus A10 active noise canceling headphones over Bluetooth to my computer. This is the OneOdio A10 Focus active noise canceling headset direct to my computer. How does it sound? All right, now when going over the sound of these, I'm going to start with the pass through, and then I'll go into the ANC, and then I'll go into the actual sound, listening to music and things like that. Listening to pass through on these, it's decent. It's nothing that's going to wow you. The fact that these have pass through is pretty nice. If I turn it on, it kind of just brightens up the outside world a little bit where you can hear it. If you have your AC running, you're going to be able to hear that. People in the background talking, that's all good. And if you're talking to someone directly, you should be able to hear them with that on there. It basically just opens things up to where you are not having to pull the headphones off of your ear while talking to someone else. The weird thing is, yeah, you do have to reach up, press that button for the pass-through to come on, and that is something to note. And it could, I guess, be easier just to slide them off your ear whenever you're doing pass-through for the most part. Now, we're going to get into the ANC. So ANC on these is decent. It's nothing, again, same thing like the pass-through. I'm not going to say it was a backdrop thought, but it wasn't anything that, it's not something that stands out. It does block out those lows decently. If someone's talking in the same room as you, you're going to hear them, of course. You're going to hear them talking. It'll lower them down a little bit, but you're going to hear them. These are not going to compete with some $200 headphones, $250, like the Bose QC35s or 700 Bose, or the the XM4s or the XM3s. There's just so many different ones out there. Even comparing these to the Soundcore, which I'm going to do a direct comparison with those. These, I would say, are just slightly under that. So Soundcores are pretty good. Soundcores you can adjust. These you can't adjust. Once you turn on ANC, what you have is what you get. Once you turn on pass-through, what you have is what you get. There's no adjustability. There is no app for these. Now, and that's what I wanted to go into as far as the sound. What you hear is what you get right out of the box. Whenever you are listening to the sound of these, they sound pretty good right out of the box. You listen, pair them up to your phone, listening to your rock, listening to your hip hop. They basically EQ these to where any of the genres that you're going to be listening to, it sounds decent. They're not tailored to either or. And I'm not going to say it has a flat sound. It's still V-shaped, a little bit more bass, a little bit more highs. Mids are decently present, and things don't get muddy, but there is room for improvement. And the reason why I say this is because with any headphones, if you are someone above a novice, you want to start EQing. There's always room to EQ, so you basically have to pull out your phone to EQ these since they don't have any app control. There are no built-in EQs. Back in the day, I would get headphones. They had built-in EQs where you can press and hold for a couple seconds on a certain button and it'll switch over the EQ to a different type of EQ. These don't have anything. You're gonna have to do that in your phone, in the whatever the app you're using, something like that. Oh, and the connectivity on these is SBC and AAC. These don't have any aptX, any LDAC, anything like that as far as the codec. So they do have what says high-res audio on here, which, whatever, high-res audio, you plug them in using the 3.5mm headphone jack to a DAC or something, you might get some headphone high-res audio out of that. But depending on your source, if you're listening to an MP3, the source itself is the audio that's being transmitted to here. MP3, that is not high res anyways. Even if you have a FLAC file on your phone and you're transmitting to these over your standard AAC SBC, it's not going to come through technically high res. It does sound clear, but that's a whole different subject for a whole different day, that high res audio on Bluetooth headphones in general. Overall, the sound is pretty good, but when you start tweaking them with an EQ, they brighten up a little bit. They start to sound a little bit better. The highs and the mids, I tweaked them, turned them up a little bit. They came alive, and the overall volume itself comes up on them a little bit to where obviously you don't want to use volume to, I guess, make things sound better. But for me, just tweaking those highs and those mids a little bit, bringing them up, it basically livening these up. It gave them a little bit more excitement. But again, out of the box, for most people, these will be fine. But for someone like myself who listens to a lot of different headphones, I did tweak the EQ on these a little bit to brighten them up, and they sounded much better. And they sounded great. That's when they really started to compete with some of my more expensive headphones that I have. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, these are $79.99 on the OneOdio website. Amazon usually has these for around the same price. I think they were sold out last time I checked, so they're very popular. Nice color, look, feel, right out of the box. Premium headphones. I mean, these, as far as look and feel, will compete with headphones that are $200-300. If you took some Sonys and you took these and you put them next to each other, I guarantee you wouldn't be able to tell which ones were more expensive. If anything, you probably lean on these, since these have a little bit of flair with the aluminum on them and the nice little anodized emblem and back in there. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the OneOdio Focus A10, please comment down below. If I missed anything in this review, please let me know and I will do it up in the follow-up, because I will be putting out a comparison of these and some of my other budget headphones here in the near future, hopefully before the end of this week here. But I guess this is my first video of the new year, so happy New Year's to you all. Hopefully your lives are going well already in the new year and you're not up in Buffalo, New York getting frozen to death there. But thank you guys for watching again. Peace out.